We're from over 1,000 miles from Greenway. You can't support the B17. Large McLean,
Yep.
Kentucky Lion.
What do you guys think about Colorado so far?
I mean, it's beautiful.
Except for the boarded up stuff. Looks like people protesting. Why is it boarded? Why is the building boarded up?
It's been boarded up since the beginning, since George Floyd.
Yeah. Yeah, we met Elijah McClain's mom. She's beautiful, and we hate that we have to meet her under these circumstances, and that we even have to be here under these circumstances. But we are here in solidarity with the people of Denver and Aurora, and we are excited to stand for justice. And we're gonna keep doing it. So you can't stop the revolution.
How many of you guys came?
About 20 of us.
20?
Yes.
For Elijah McClain?
Yes. Because we did 1,000 miles for Elijah McClain. They did 1,000 miles for Breonna Taylor, and we're here doing 1,000 miles for Elijah McClain.
What's next?
What's next? We're gonna keep rocking until we
Are
get
you guys
justice.
going to DC?
Oh, we are. Yes,
Next
we
week.
will be.
I'll see you guys next week too.
Awesome.
Good,
Great.
Holla.
Safe travels.
Did you
all
guys
right?
register with the National Action Network?
I don't know if that we did. We're going with our organization. I'm a board
Make
member
sure
of the
you
Kentucky
guys
Alliance.
all register with them so then because there's a line and there's also where you have to be, where you're gonna meet,
Okay.
and what the march is.
Okay, perfect.
So National Action Network.
Right. Yep. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
20 people came here from Louisville, Kentucky to support Elijah McClain.
Sorry, mama, but I had to do it. Quality is still missing like an absent student. The black movement is tired of getting these thoughts next. Fed up with the walls and tired of putting my back to it. So I'ma be the voice for my kids. If they can't do it, I'ma make the choice for my kids and tell them this is people in rap. I ain't no preacher, just a speaker with facts. We black gold, we just think in crack. Unarmed, I ain't unharmed. If none, then my eye won't form. How many rocks no more? How much more can you survive in the storm? You gotta march and protest and then write empty songs. But the whole mood is different now. Standing up, you sitting down. Talk about the issues you getting in or getting down. Yeah. We just tired of being patient. We just need love and ventilation. I swear to God, I tried it. I trust me, cannot fight it. Cause I can't breathe. No, I can't breathe.
No, I ain't alone. They tell us that they serve and protect. They put a knee against the curb on our necks. You act like you don't see a man bleed and say that he can't breathe. Them unheard voices gon' turn to a stampede. I see people screaming about the loot in their brains, but when the cops come and shoot us, keep quiet. And so we need to hear their names in the streets for justice and lack of. And all the cops need to be tried by a black judge and a black judge. Cause the guys come with entitlement, killing us in the street and then getting less time to fight for faith. We got to prevail. At times being black in America is like being a cop that's locked in a jail with the people that he arrested. You won't understand. And if you don't know where you stand, then we know where you stand. Just I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. No, I can't breathe. No, I can't breathe. Can't breathe. Can't breathe. Can't breathe. Can't breathe. Can't breathe.
Hey, do you know how it feels to be black and get bumped cause your tone really approaches real aggressive, now they burners at your dome. We need a new commander in chief, Pat Mahomes. This ain't black and white no more, it's right or wrong. I thought it'd be different by now, but I was wrong. I feel like they be convicted in trial, false alarm. How is it that I ain't even safe in my own home? Guess now what you did was strapping the GoPro. Screaming it just because it's never been fair to get melanin's kind of money free. Never had my back, I'm selling about it, something strange. They just go scream when you care, cause you a mother. I need an equal instead of equal. I just want a real opportunity for my people. I guess all this feeling wasn't enough. It's not a bad apple, they do it because it's
So we're going to go ahead and get started. Wanted to personally thank you all for coming out. Say his name. Say his name. Say her name. Say her name. So I'm honored to welcome the Caravan from Louisville, Kentucky, who have traveled 1,000 miles to stand in solidarity with Aurora, to stand in solidarity with Denver. GOP is in the house talking, but it's okay. Love them anyway. We're going to do land acknowledgement. My name is Shanika Carter, and I am a community organizer. I am an activist turned actionist. And myself, along with Candace, Firehouse actionist Bailey, wanted to do this for our community here. We wanted to extend the same gratitude that was extended when we traveled 1,000 miles. And we hope that you feel the love. We care. We see you. We know exactly the pain that you're going through. This is a thankless job to be out. And I want to extend thanks for hopping on the plane and saying yes to the call to all of you. The work is necessary. Don't text and ask Shanika, what can I do? You can show up. You can make calls. You can be out. You can do the work. This shouldn't be on our back. We didn't create this system. However, we will tear it down. With your help, we need you to continuously show up. We need you to continuously be here. It would be a great day to arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. It would be a great day to arrest the killers of Elijah McClain. It would be a great day to arrest the killers of Paul Castaway. We have his mother, his sister, and his nephew here today. She will do our land acknowledgement. Her son was murdered by Denver Police Department 5 years ago. 5 years ago. No justice. No justice. Say his name. Paul Castaway. Say his name. Paul Castaway. Wow. We have 2 eagles. That rarely happens. Rarely happens. The energy is real. We need justice. We need justice. So again, just wanted to thank you all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. We have another day tomorrow to honor the life of Elijah McClain. We will be there. Thank you, Shanine McClain. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for allowing community to be there. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. We're gonna let Mama Lynn. I'm bringing up Mama Lynn Eagle Feather. And the Eagles have come down to bear witness to this historical moment. So we are forever grateful.
At that time, children could not dance. Only people over 50 years of age could dance. Most people do not know this, that the government forbid children to dance again. And that was so they could wipe out the culture of the young people. And then finally, the new generation would never know what happened.
My relation. Let go of your fears. For now is the time to take courage. My relation, look. For this is a beautiful life. Beauty is everywhere. And we're here today, my relation. Nothing is more beautiful than that.
Hello, can you hear me? I want to thank you all for being out here, for all of us, especially us mothers, because we know the pain of losing a child. When you lose a husband, you become a widow. When you lose a wife, you become a widower. What do they call you when you lose a child? And our heartbeats were the first thing that they heard. And I want to acknowledge that you are on stolen land, built by stolen hands. The people they brought over here to build this country is stolen. They were stolen also. And so we are all together as one, and know that my prayers are with you. And my son would have loved being here. He would have loved seeing this. He loved people. He loved children. He was a foster parent. He was a first responder. He went to criminal justice. My son was mentally ill, and I called for help. Instead, they murdered him in front of many children. And I want to also acknowledge that this land is Northern Cheyenne, Arapaho. This is their land, it's Ute country. Belmar was Ute country. Shivington statue, where was that at? Right here. Shivington murdered, they attacked. Let me see, I took some notes here. Shivington on 11/29/1864, 675 men from the 3rd Colorado Cavalry attacked women, children, and elderly people as the men were out hunting for food. 230 were murdered, and over half of them were women and children. And that was under Andrew Jackson. And this is also Anasazi people from the southeastern Colorado. This is part of their land, they disappeared. And I am an enrolled member from the Sicangu Lakota Nation. Sicangu means birthright. They started a fire on our reservation, and we had to run through that fire. An elderly lady told us to run through the fire so we could survive. And their legs got burnt, and they had scars. And that's why our tribe is called the Birdseye Nation. And Custer, the Cheyenne and Arapahoes were allies with our people. And when at the Battle of Greasy Grass, it was a massacre when they killed and attacked women and children the same way. And they come and attack us at night. And I just want to say that if it weren't for the prayers of our ancestors prayed and died for us. And I just want to say that we need to make them proud as a people together, people of color, all nations, because it's not about one race of people that's being murdered. It's about a whole nation of people. We saw the 2 eagles that were just here. I don't know if they were eagles or hawks, but this is my son's naming feather, the white one. It comes from the tail of the eagle. And his Indian name is Matonaji, which means standing bear, because he stood up to those cops. And 2 eagles came at his funeral. So I just want to say that we were blessed right now, and that my prayers go with all the people that came in from out of state. do my prayers for your journey on your way. And also, I went to Minneapolis for the Mother's March last month, and that was awesome to see all the activism that's there in Minneapolis. My son is an activist over there, and he was also at Standing Rock. And our Mother Earth, our Unshimaka, we need to pray and take care of her, because look what's happening with the fires, the gentrification, the floods, everything that's happening is for a reason. And I pray for my grandchildren here and their children and their grandchildren, so that this will be a better nation. And also I fight so no one else will have to experience the murder of their child. There's no pain like that. And I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you.
So we're going to jump out of line really quick, everybody. I'm Candace Bailey. Leslie Harrod is going to jump in and just say hello because she has another engagement. So we're going to let Leslie jump in for a second. Thank you, Candace. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? I'm State Representative Leslie Harrod. I'm so proud to be here with you all. I represent Central and Northeast Denver. Hey to all y'all who caravan and came all the way out here. We appreciate you. We appreciate your fight. We're fighting with you as well. I'm honored to be the prime sponsor of Senate Bill 217, the Law Enforcement Accountability Act, which really should be called the Elijah McClain and Devon Bailey Act. Because that's exactly why we ran the bill at the state capitol. While we were in there debating legislation, y'all were out here fighting for justice and demanding justice. And I want to say that your calls did not go unheard. And in Colorado, we have once and for all ended qualified immunity for law enforcement right here. We are the first state in the nation to do so by legislation. First state. Y'all know the bill did a lot of other things, and y'all know a lot of folks are mad, Greenwood Village. But we're going to make sure that we hold every single law enforcement officer accountable when they do harm to someone in our communities, period. And if folks don't want to bring charges to them, then we will vote them out as well, right? Because it has been way too long and far too many calls for justice for folks to sit on their hands and say, I can no longer do anything for you. That is over. It's over here in Denver and it's over here in Colorado. And I got to tell you, a reckoning is coming in November as well. It will be done across the country. So as I tell my friends, my work here is not done. Just because we passed one bill doesn't mean we don't have more work to do. And standing here with Mari Newman, the architect behind 217, Janine McClain, who was here every step of the way, we will continue to hold law enforcement accountable till our community actually has the access to the resources that we need, and no longer will our mothers and our communities have to lose their babies. So thank y'all for coming here today. I'm so honored to be a part of this movement. Black Lives Matter. Thank you. So we're going to jump back into the actual schedule now. We just wanted Leslie to come up, give her some homage, thank her for all her hard work and showing up as a Black woman for our community. Next up, we're going to have our opening prayer with Ms. Topaz McBride from the Greater Denver Ministerial Alliance.
Thank you. Giving honor where honor is due. I just want to honor every mother, particularly the mothers that have lost a son or a daughter that may be here or may be watching right now. We want to acknowledge you. We want to know. We want you to know that no matter how long it's been, whether it was last week, whether it was 5 years ago, whether it was 15 years ago, we want you to know that our hearts are with you, particularly for those that are still waiting for justice, for those that are still waiting for those that are responsible for the murder come to justice. We will not stop. We will not give up until justice is done. There was reference made to Eagles being in the space earlier, how appropriate, given that Isaiah 43 says that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength and mount wings of an eagle. Amen. So those that have been waiting for a long time for justice, how appropriate that you would mount wings of an eagle so that you can soar high above all of the chaos, the mayhem, the injustice, the inhumanity, and the lack of respect. Because it's been too long for us to say that Black lives matter. Black lives more than matter. Amen. So without further ado, I just want to give honor to God. I stand in agreement with the blessings that have already been prayed over those who are here, over this land that is now holy, because it's been blessed while we stand here only. Amen. So God, we come to you right now, giving you all praise, giving you all glory, dear Heavenly Father. We thank you that it is by your anointing, by your grace and your mercy that we have made it 7 months into a pandemic, 7 months into civil unrest, and for some 400 years of civil unrest. It has just come to a heightened place because of murder, blatant murder that has been brought to the attention through social media, through all kinds of voices that will not be silenced. God, we thank you for this is our time. This is our time for justice. So we stand in agreement. We look to you, God, to bring a hedge over protection over every single one that stands for justice here in the Mile High City, in faraway countries, those who have come in alignment for Elijah McClain, those who have come into alignment for Breonna Taylor, those who have come in alignment for every name on these scrolls that lay before us, God. We thank you that you will cover them, that you will protect every household, every activist, every actionist, every voice that would be bold enough to stand against the odds, to stand in the faces of those who come to shun us, to silence us, to coward us, to dehumanize us. We thank you that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And we thank you that victory is ours. We decree and declare it now. We stand for victory, and we decree and declare that those murderers will be brought to justice. In Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Thank you, Chancellor Topaz. That was beautiful. And next, we want to bring State Representative James Coleman.
Thank you. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Those of you who came from far away, y'all can say we tired, be honest. You good though. I like that. My name is James Coleman. I'm the state representative for House District 7, which is far northeast Denver.
All right, yeah.
I appreciate that. My man Quincy, I pay him a lot of money. I just wanted to say, America's already forgotten. We've already forgotten about George Floyd. We've already forgotten about Breonna Taylor. We've already forgotten about Elijah McClain. America has, but we haven't. I want to commend you all for continuing, because as a Black man and as Black people, we know that every time somebody loses their lives, we have rallies, we have protests, we have in the culture of America, and then we forget until the next person gets killed. And we all wasn't us. You have to have the courage to be able to go in and do the work, but it's the people outside of the building that put that pressure on the folks inside of this building to make sure that we got it done. And it's not enough to get a bill passed. Next time one of your elected officials tell you they got a bill passed, ask them how it's doing. Ask them if it's being enforced. Ask them if it's being implemented. Now that we passed that bill, that's great. I have 2 children, 2 black children, a boy and a girl. And I teach them to learn to do right, to seek justice, to defend the oppressed, Isaiah 1:17. But in America, we need to learn to do right. We need not learn and then forget. We need to learn to do right. We need to seek justice, and we need to defend the oppressed. Those of us who have been impacted by police violence, brutality, impacted by violence in our own communities, it takes a village for us to get this stuff done. And I normally don't speak, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to, but I know my place. My place is to make sure that I listen to folks in our community like Candace Bailey, like Shanika, to make sure that when they see what's going on in the community, we match that force outside of the building with what we need to do inside of here. I want to encourage everybody to vote, yes, but I want to encourage you to run. There's only 8 black legislators in that building, and not only black folks run these kinds of bills or vote on these bills, but we have to stop waiting on people to save us. So we need to run for office. And then when we get in here, we need to, what I said last week at the 1,000 Black Men Who Lead on Denver in this same spot, when you get into positions of power, as a black man, you represent the Negro community. But then when you get inside there, they pacify you and make you feel good about yourself, and you forget who you are. And then you end up becoming the representative of the white people to your Negro community. We have to have folks that ain't scared to lose their lives, y'all. We have to have folks, when I ran for office, I told my wife, my children, we got life insurance, but that's all we got. But there's something that happens to me. But I do this work because it's a ministry. So I want to make sure that we insert God into this work. We can do all things because he gives us strength. So if that means we have to lose our lives for this work, too many people have already lost their lives when the conditions were 10 times worse than they are now. So we got to be bold. We can't go backwards. All we can do is move forward from here. So I just want to thank you for your accountability. I want to thank you for the support, but most of all, I want to thank you for your love. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak.
Say his name. Say his name. Thank you. So we're going to bring up the family attorney for the McClain family, Maureen Newman, to say a few words.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I know it's getting late and you're all hot, but thank you for just hanging in there. I'm proud, beyond proud, to stand here next to my client and my friend, Shanine McClain. I want to tell you a couple of words about her. I know that you all know she's on a media blackout right now, and she's made that decision very consciously because she is not going to be speaking to the media until there is accountability and justice for her son, Elijah McClain. Say his name, Elijah McClain. Say his name, Elijah McClain. This is an important weekend for everybody, but it is especially an important weekend for Shanine. And you know, a lot of people are here because of a movement, but we have to remember, and it is incumbent on all of us to remember, this is not just about names that we're saying. This is about human beings. This is about grieving families. This is about a mother who has lost her son, who has now taken on the amazing role of speaking as a voice of the community. And this is the same is true for Breonna Taylor's friends and family who have come 1,000 miles all the way from Louisville to support the McClain family. Thank you. And we say her name, Breonna Taylor. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. I hope you will all give these families the grace, the support, the space to grieve, and also recognize the profound strength that they are showing in leading us forward. I want to tell you a few things you might not know about Shanine McClain. One thing you might not know is Shanine was one of the instrumental people behind passing SB 217, ending qualified immunity here in Colorado, causing police accountability in our state, forcing things like the Attorney General's pattern and practice investigation that is happening against Aurora right now because of people like Shanine McClain, who came and spoke at the Capitol. She spoke before the House and testified. She spoke before the Senate and testified. And some of you might remember seeing her here on these Capitol steps. And one of the things she said was, "Where were you last year when my son was murdered? Where was everybody then?" You've all come out now, and I want to thank you for coming out, because Elijah must be remembered. He must be remembered for the humanity he showed to all. He must be remembered for the amazing, beautiful, peaceful soul that he was. He is not simply a name. Elijah McClain is important not just as a symbol, but as a human being, as the son of this grieving mother and an entire grieving family. Breonna Taylor is not just a symbol. She is a human being who was loved by her family, and they are coming across the country to support not just her, but the entire movement. And we all are obligated. It is our moral obligation to stand by them, whatever they need, give them the space they need, and give them the support they need. Justice for Elijah McClain, justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for all of those who have been murdered at the hands of law enforcement.
Thank you, Maureen. I look down and I see so many names on this scroll. If you get a chance, please walk by and give acknowledgement. There have been so many names. There are so many more. So many more. I want to bring up next, I'm going to call her a co-conspirator, because we are in this fight to win and get for justice for these families. We are traveling across the country. We will not rest until we get justice. We will not go away. This is not a moment. When I say how long, you say right now. How long? Right now. How long? Right now. How long? Right
now. So I was given the pleasure of doing the opening for this event. And I was thinking for weeks about Louisville coming here. Let me tell y'all. I have been sleeping, eating, thinking about Louisville coming to Denver since we left, because my village was all the way in Louisville. I'm the loudest, most obnoxious person in Denver, Colorado. They hear my voice everywhere on everything. And when y'all come with the noise, it's my heart. It's my heart. They don't even know. They don't know. It's okay. But I am so proud to have y'all here. I'm so proud to be on this journey with y'all. This is unbelievable. And the things that we are going to do together to bring love back to our nation, to bring racial justice. We have so much to do, y'all. So much to do. This weekend is very important. This weekend is marking a lot of very important things. The incident with Elijah McClain, the fact that Say Their Names is here with the Caravan for Racial Justice with Louisville. We are making history in these moments. And then I see these scrolls. These scrolls have been brought to a lot of my demonstrations. And it's been hard to look down at these names. But we must remember not only the names that are here, but the names that we will never, ever know and never be able to say. Our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated. Our brothers and sisters who were murdered and it was swept under the carpet. Every human being that was murdered before this land had that flag flying over it. All those names we will never know, but we take them with us everywhere we go. I take this scroll inside of my soul to make sure that I'm checking myself at every corner, because justice is not for one, it is for all of us. I am so proud to be here today with the individuals who are here, my cohort, Shanika, Stephanie. We are a very powerful trio. I want to acknowledge you, Ashley Wedgeworth, our little hero coming out of the left field for us. We have so much work to do, and I am so proud of y'all. Let's continue to push this forward. Up next is So up first, we are going to bring Tyra Walker from the Kentucky Alliance. Miss Tyra, you are first. We're so happy to have Tyra here. We're down at Ground Zero with Tyra at 3 a.m., honey. Let me tell you, this is a warrior unmatched. Thank you all for having us. Again, my name is Tyra Walker, one of the co-chairs of the Kentucky Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. First and foremost, we come here all the way from Kentucky, 1,000 miles to stand in solidarity with Colorado to fight for justice for Elijah McClain and others that we have lost to police brutality. We are not here to cause bad trouble, as your police chief has stated, but as Congressman John Lewis called it, we are here to cause good trouble. We want change, and it starts with us making noise, going to the polls, voting for people who has our best interest. It shouldn't be a crime to be Black in America. My children, our children, should not fear the police. The police, who we pay with our taxpaying dollars, they're supposed to protect and serve, not hunt us down and kill us. I'm tired of saying their names. I'm tired of saying the names of Black people who have been murdered by police. I'm tired of burying Black people due to police brutality. I'm just tired, but not tired of the fight. Every day that I wake up, I know it's my job to fight for justice, to fight for change, and that's what's going to happen. Change. And that's what white people, are afraid of. This is a 400-plus-year-old system, and they fear they will lose their power, that they will lose control. Guess what? They will lose control, but to create equality and equity for all, where Black people can live and not die by the hands of police, where we create a conducive community where police officers will protect and serve. That's the only change we want, and it perplexes me to see people counter-protesting our Black Lives Matter protest to say blue lives matter. I can't take off my Blackness, but every night or after every shift, they take off their uniform. So therefore, they are no longer blue lives. I'm tired, and I know you all are too. So let's get out, make noise in the streets, go to the polls and vote. Say her name. Say her name. Say his name. Say his name. No justice. No justice. No justice. Freeway. I don't want to say another motherfucking name. I don't want to say another motherfucking name. I don't want to say another motherfucking name.
All right, not another one. Not an MFing, another one. Do you hear me? There you go. Not a what?
Not a motherfucking what?
So, but no, in all seriousness, I've known for 18 years. I know her as Mama Park. She is the county commissioner of the Louisville Metro District. She's gonna make her way up. I've known her, like I said, for 18 years. Her son is married to my best friend since the 8th grade. Talk about a small world. She has been in this fight. She is a civil rights activist. She represents National Action Network, NAACP Louisville chapter. She has served her community, and we're going to hear from her next. Thank you, Mama Parks.
You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. I said you can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. I can't hear you. You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. I said you can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. I said you can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. I said you can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. Thank you so much. Say her name. Say her name. Say his name. Elijah McClain. Say his name. Elijah McClain. All right. I'm proud of everybody, proud to be here today on behalf of Elijah McClain. That young man was a beautiful soul. He was a human being. All of these individuals that have died at the hands continually of senseless brutality. I want to tell you something and give you a little history lesson. I will be teaching the first American slave history course ever taught in America. Why is that important? Thank you. Thank you very much. Why is that important? Because all of these children of the movement, children of our movement, your movement, your mother's movement, your father's movement, your grandfather's movement, your grandmother's movement, your child's movement. I'm kind of out of breath. I'm not used to this elevation yet, but I'll get there. I'll get there. But all of these individuals that have died at the hands of senseless police brutality are descendants of American slaves of the United States of America. That's right. We built this country. We built this country. And we continually build every day so that not only our families will have the right to vote, but what benefits Black people in America benefits everybody in America. So I'm sick and tired of hearing this rhetoric. But why do they keep on whining? They got everything. Why do they keep barking all the time? You know, they got their voting rights. No, we have them to a certain extent. Section 4 and 5 of the Voting Rights Act, did you know that, was gutted? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? All right, that's why it's so important. And I know many individuals in the 2016 campaign said, well, I'm not going to vote because I don't see anybody that I should vote for, or I don't see anybody that represents my interests. You know what my response to that is? You need to run for public office. Instead of complaining, don't grieve. Don't bark about it. Like our former President Barack Obama said, don't boo, vote. Take your behind to the polls and vote. Don't worry about who the candidates are per se. Vote the issues. If you want police brutality to stop in this country, there are two bills in the Senate. They passed through the House, but now they're stuck in the Senate with our Senator, Willie, from the state of Commonwealth of Kentucky, Mitch McConnell, our friend Mitch McConnell. All right, your friend Mitch McConnell, right? There's two bills. Yes, ditch Mitch, ditch Mitch. Ditch Mitch, dirty snitch. There are two bills in the Senate. They passed through the House. And I want you to listen to me very, very carefully, because I know we got to move on with the agenda. And it's a pleasure to be here, all the way here, 1,000 miles from Louisville, Kentucky. There will be no Kentucky Derby for us this year because of COVID-19. But hell, we started the Kentucky Derby anyway with the black jockeys. Come on now. You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. Okay, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to take my seat. There are two bills in the Senate. The George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. You got to call Mitch McConnell, tell him to pass that bill. The second bill is the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. You got to do that. You got to call Mitch McConnell's office in Washington, D.C. Google the number. Somebody Google the number and holler it out. Call Mitch McConnell's office, tell him to pass those two bills. Thank you so much. You can't stop the revolution. I said, you can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution.
Thank you, Mama Parks. So say his name, Paul Castaway. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Too often we forget about our community. You know, Miss Eagle Feather is an elder in our community, and her son has been forgotten about over and over and over and over and over and over, and no one says his name. I can't imagine what that feels like as his mother to see the world chanting names, and your child was murdered brutally years ago and just swept under the rug without a word, without any justice, with nothing. This is what we fight for right here. This is what we fight for every single day. Paul Castaway was brutally murdered here in Denver by the police. He had a mental health disparity that was never addressed. His mother needed help. And when she called, the police came and murdered him at her home, at his home. We can never cycle backwards. We can never go and get Paul's life back. And we must acknowledge it. We must stand in this space and acknowledge the lives that have been taken that we refuse to acknowledge in this country. No one is lesser or greater, and we must stop this. Paul Castaway was a Native man. He had the right to live and to breathe and to be here. My root is indigenous as well. And so I say that we must remember every name we don't even know how to speak. Say his name, Paul Castaway. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. We will never forget. And we are honored that you were able to acknowledge our land, Miss Eagle Feather. Not only that, but we stand in solidarity with our indigenous brothers and sisters.
Every day, this fight is for humanity. Every day, we're fighting to be seen as human, to be seen as human. So we stand in solidarity with our Indigenous brothers and sisters. We stand in solidarity with our Mexican brothers and sisters. We are in a fight for humanity. Imagine that. Let that sink in. We are in a fight for humanity. That's why we're here. Thank you. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for taking those rubber bullets when our own elected official weaponized the police. Because that's what happens when you're fighting for humanity. Police are weaponized and they're used against you because you're trying to fight for the right to live.
Thank you all for saying his name and not forgetting him. I was in Minneapolis for his 5th anniversary at the Mother's March, July 12th. This magazine right here is called In These Times, and it talks about our Native people killed at a higher rate because there's not too many of us left. So I just want to acknowledge my son as a human, as a loving son who needed help. And his last words were, "What's wrong with you guys?" Because they handcuffed him and knelt on him after they shot him 4 times. And I can't, our case was dismissed with prejudice. So, you know, we just need to keep fighting as mothers, sisters, you know, everybody, as a community of people of color, as mentally ill white people. They're killing your people too. Like I said, this is not about one race. This is about a whole nation of people being killed by the killer cops. And if they're afraid of, if they're in fear for their lives, they need to put the badge down and find another profession. Thank you. What's wrong with you guys?
Sorry, I had to catch my breath for a minute. Up next, we have Tay Anderson from the Denver Public School Board.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today has definitely been a day, but I am grateful every day to continue to stand with our community and make sure that we continue to say the names of those whom we lost. I want to welcome our guest from Kentucky. My name is Tay Anderson. I am the at-large director, which means I represent every zip code in the city and county of Denver on the Denver Public Schools Board of Education. And we've been doing the work here in Denver. When we heard our community say elected officials aren't doing enough, I took Denver police out of Denver schools. When we heard our young people saying we're not being taught our history, we're now going to introduce a resolution being led by young Black women, from Martin Luther King Early College, to make Black history a graduation course in Denver Public Schools. We're fighting because we know that we need to have more mental health workers in all of our schools. We're fighting because we need to have full-time nurses and not cops, not security guards in our schools. We're fighting because we're tired of seeing Black and brown children placed into handcuffs where they are not being greeted with a high school diploma at the end of their career with us, but a certificate or a symbol of saying, we kicked you out, we expelled you. That's not good enough for me anymore. And so we have to be able to put ourselves in these uncomfortable situations. And let me just be very frank. Just because sometimes our skin may be Black and we have a D behind our name does not always mean we are what's best for community. Now, I've seen some people got uncomfortable. Let me say this again. Just because there are some people that get elected to office that may have the title as mayor or councilman that look like me, that have a D behind their name, does not always mean they are what's best for my community, because under a Black mayor, we've seen police brutality take full effect in this city. We have to continue to let Black women lead and lean on Black women, because without a Black woman, there wouldn't be a Black man, period. So we must continue to do the work to uplift our communities, hold each other accountable, make sure we get those in office that are going to represent us. And when they don't, we must do our civic duty and vote them out. And I'll end with this. I know we are tired of gathering like this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of seeing my people in the media's faces at events like this. I'll be honest. Some of y'all do good work, but I'm tired of seeing y'all at these events, because we need to do the work to uplift our community when we are thriving, not when we are dying. I said a couple weeks ago, love us as Black folks as much as you do when we are dead, when we are alive. Show us Black Lives Matter when I am breathing, not because I became a hashtag. Because Black folks aren't asking for special treatment, y'all. We just saying, treat me like a human. That's it. Thank you, guys.
All right, y'all, let's keep it going. Say his name, Elijah McClain. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Say her name. I know y'all getting tired on me. This heat got y'all. This low oxygen content got y'all, huh? Because Louisville be ready. Louisville be ready. Y'all done got quiet on me. Hold up. Let me start jogging for y'all or something. I feel like I need to do some calisthenics to get y'all right. So up next, I'm going to bring my sister in justice. And she told me, she said, I better quit fronting. I'm her sister in justice. Nicole from the Kentucky Alliance is up first.
Thank you, Candace. Thank y'all for being here. Thanks for allowing us to be here. We are so grateful and so honored. And so today, I thought about what can I actually say? And I just want to talk for like 30 seconds about resistance. Because I've been thinking a lot about what resistance actually looks like, right? And when I think of resistance, I automatically think of those resistance bands for exercise, you know? They look simple enough, but when you start to stretch them, you feel tension in your muscles. And resistance is really just the creation of tension. It is a pushing up against boundaries. Resistance makes us stronger. And right now, resistance is necessary to make this country better. Because unless you are a white man, this country was not created for you to prosper. And resistance in America for Black folks in particular looks quite different than others. One thing that people don't realize is that existence is resistance. To exist, to live, to breathe, to walk the earth in your beautiful Black skin in the face of a police force that was created to maintain the system of slavery in America under the guise of justice is resistance. Every day that you are alive is a pushing up against a boundary within that system. And most days, existence is all that we can even bring to the table. And that is okay. Give yourself grace for days when showing up has to be enough. But on the days when you have more to give, how you show up in this movement matters. The Bible tells us that each one of us should use whatever gifts we have to faithfully serve others. And whether you believe in God or not, I think that we can all agree that not everyone can march or protest or attend a rally, but everyone can do something. You can cook for organizers and protesters. You can donate water or food. You can send a gift basket or a gift card, offer words of encouragement, call your elected official. You can participate in voter registration. You can freaking vote. You can share information on social media with others. And if you are an artist, you can write a poem, you can write a story, a song, an op-ed, you can paint a picture, create a sculpture. There is no limit to how you show up in this work. Just show up as your authentic self. And lastly, back home in Louisville, in what we have renamed Injustice Square, which is literally a courtyard that sits in between our Hall of Justice, which is our courthouse, our police department, and our city officials' offices. Every night, the police heckle us on their sound system, and they tell us to go home at their designated time. And every night, we stand firm in the face of one of the most corrupt departments in this country. And some nights, the young people intersect with us more seasoned folks on the sidewalk while we play music, and we begin to line dance, and we have dance battles, and we laugh, and we sing, and we show our oppressors joy, because freedom exists within joy, and joy is resistance in the face of a system that tries daily to steal our joy. To be able to live under oppression and still have joy is resistance. And we will continue to resist. We will keep creating tension that pushes up against those boundaries that were constructed to keep us oppressed. We will not stop using our gifts to serve one another in this movement. We will maintain our joy while we get justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for Paul Castaway, and justice for Elijah McClain. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. So I was getting some content ready, and I'm gonna pass it back to the MC, Candace.
I was off chatting. I had to get my life together. So up next is my surrogate child. She's all the way from Louisville as well with the Kentucky Alliance. Carmen, come on up.
How y'all doing tonight? Like she said, my name is Carmen Jones. I started telling everybody in Louisville that I am an actionist, not an activist, because of Miss Candace Bailey, because I'm about that action, all right? One thing that your state representative, his name escapes me, the guy who was just speaking up here, said that, get in office. Something that I just learned here recently is that you only have to be 24 in the state of Kentucky to run for state rep. Most of these official offices, like Trump, doesn't even require a college education, you guys. It literally just requires you to be a certain age and live in your state or your district for a certain amount of time. Get out here and be the change that you want to see in the world, because I'm trying to be the change that I want to see in the world. All right. One thing that we keep saying is, Black Lives Matter. Do we know what that means when we say Black Lives Matter? Black hopes matter. Black dreams matter. Black education matters. Black careers matter. Black love matters. Black unity matters. The biggest threat to white oppression is Black love and Black unity. When we can really come together and love each other and be there for each other as a people, none of this is ever going to be a problem for us ever again, y'all. All right. I encourage y'all, especially Black women, please stand up in this fight, y'all. Your voice can be the voice that saves either my life or the voice of another Black woman's voice, like Breonna Taylor's, you guys. All right. Don't become silent in this in this fight, y'all. This fight for oppression. And I just want to thank you guys again for having us out here. It's really dope. Say his name, Elijah McClain. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name, Paul Castaway. Say his name. Say his name. Say her name. Say her name. Breeway. Lord, y'all sleep. Y'all so sleep. Y'all sleep over there too. Breeway. Keela, get up. Breeway. All right, I love y'all. Thank y'all. This is Twan, y'all.
Look, listen. Hello, everybody. So, if you don't know me, I'm just somebody who is moved by spirit, energy, and just peace, respect. But like where we at in this fight right now, in the way that we are in this world, like it's really kind of weird. Like it's really, I swear, oh yeah, there we go. Hold on. Where we at right now is we at a place to where I'm not asking for, I don't want to be better than you. I don't want to outdo you. I don't want nothing more than you. All I ask is to be able to stand beside you. And that's everybody. White, black, people of brown skin, everybody. I don't care who you are. And the only thing that's wrong with everyone now is education. We don't have education and we don't share education. You can tell somebody, I was just telling them, you can tell somebody to go vote. I can tell you to go vote. And like when you get there, they're gonna probably be like, and fuck it, her. I'm just gonna check this. If they actually go. But if you educate them on what they're voting for, then you're encouraged to know what you're doing. And if you know what you're doing, I swear, you're gonna be more eager to go do it. Am I right or am I wrong? So it's steps, it's levels to this shit. I swear it is. You can't tell somebody that you hate what they're doing because in turn you're showing hate. If you get an understanding, life ain't nothing but learning and understanding. If you learn something, then you understand it, then you can share it. All I'm trying to do is just share it. I can step aside if I know and I genuinely say, hey, I don't care if you're black or white, but you're better at this than me. So do it, please. And then I'm gonna find something else that I'm good at. Everybody has a position to play. I don't care if you drive past your car and yell Black Lives Matter. You did it. If you make it a point to come down here every single day, where I'm from in Louisville, people come by and that's all they do is drive past every day, same time, and they yell out their window. That's support. People bring food, water, people donate, people help in numerous of ways. Anything you do is support. I don't care if you're sitting at home and you used to call black people niggas, and then you're like, well, goddamn, that nigga right there, he's a good guy. It'll fuck you up, but damn, like, you feel me? And you still changing. That's all it is. It's just understand, like, we don't want no peace. We don't want to show we better or none of that. Like, I just want to jump in the game. I just want to play. That's all I want to do. Let me have an opportunity, but in order for me to want an opportunity at that, I'm gonna have to understand what that is. I'm gonna have to understand what goes on inside of there so I can play my position. That's all I want, is everybody just play their position.
Hey y'all, I'm Ebony Wallace. I usually only speak when we doing the chants. I just came up for support, but I do want to thank you, Miss Carter. You are the first person that has thanked us for getting shot. We love you. It's not easy. Not everybody's good for front lines, and that's okay. When we're on front lines and y'all feed us, tell us y'all love us, pray for us, and all those things, teamwork makes the dream work, and we're here for it. Love y'all. Abundant blessings, namaste.
Just go with it. I'm going to ask everyone from the Kentucky Alliance and the other groups that are down at the park at what we call Injustice Square to come up here with me. Because we did this together. Nobody gets to sit down in this work, right? We get to show you all. And I want us to come and stand with these names right here. Stand with the names of folks that have been lost to police abuse, police brutality, and police violence. Because just like we showed up because we're not scared. We're not scared because we have each other. We're not scared because we're building a movement. That movement looks like your community. It looks like my community. How many of you can say that you came 1,000 miles with your mayor? I came with my mayor today. Beverly Chester Burton is here. She's my black woman mayor, the first black woman in Shively. I don't go anywhere without my friends. Like John Lennon, I get by through them. I bring them with me at every step of the way as long as they let me. Sometimes I push, sometimes they pull, but we get here. I just want to tell you all that 1,000 miles later,
We are so thankful to be here. You all have laid out the red carpet. I also look around and see a lot of things that are really familiar to me. I see, well, we call ours Injustice Square. You got a lot of circles, and I love circles. Circles are connecting. Circles show that we are bound together. And like Twan said, even if you just ride by here, even if you want to put up a finger, you know that police brutality, police violence has gone on for far too long. And I'm definitely here as a Black woman with 6 children and 2 grandchildren. I'm definitely showing up as a Black woman first, but I'm also showing up as a mother, as a woman, as a human that is tired. I'm tired of the stories just like you all. I couldn't imagine being a reporter right now. But how important it is. How many reporters have been victims of police brutality and police violence? A great deal. This is something that touches all of our communities in some way. Yeah, even the rich and affluent, it might be their son or daughter, but they get held up and they get violence from people that are sworn to protect and serve. Everyone that we've lost to a system that is set up to never end. But I tell you something, just like they can't build any of these buildings in our day and time with that kind of money and those kind of resources, we can no longer ever let the police think that we're supposed to be scared of them when they're there to protect us. We can't ever think that we're gonna let this crooked system with baked in injustices win over and over again. That can never be built again. That's never gonna happen. Just like COVID-19 has changed our lives, this fight will continue to change our lives. This is our civil rights issue of everything, because they dealt with it and we continue to deal with it. So if we wanted to stop for our grandchildren and for anybody, even if we don't plan to have children, if we just wanted to stop, not just here, but all over the world, we have to stand together and bring every skill, every resource, because it matters. It matters. It matters. I stand here with my friends, and I was going to say, look, everybody needs to say something, but there's a few people you need to hear from. And look at this, as it cools, we get to give you a powerful message all the way from Louisville, Kentucky, because guess what? They're watching us right now. On our way here, I got a call that the police wanted to tear down the tents that people put up to have a gospel event. And I said to tell them not now. Tell them we're not having it even from 1,000 miles away. And we made calls, and those tents get to stay up for that event. That's power. I don't own it by myself. I own it with these people. All right. Okay, let Dana.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to say thanks for inviting us up here. We're all in this together. I also want to say thanks to everybody, and I'm Indigenous as well from the Navajo Nation. So I understand, we're all in this together, and we're not going to stop.
My name is Willie Little, and I heard that we're getting tired. 120 million slaves persecuted. Are you getting tired? 120 million slaves gone. Are you getting tired? When I was a kid in Chicago, looking at the black and white TV, Martin Luther King was sitting there with his wife and kids, and he said, I'll probably be assassinated. Are you getting tired? Really? This is like Kool-Aid compared to what the Africans went through. Now, about Black history, they don't go back far enough. Africans did not convert to Christianity. They wrote books, and those books were translated into the King James Version. And then brother says, how come we don't know? Islam, Christianity, Torah, all that we believe in is coming out of Africa. All of it. I asked my wife, honey, how many languages are in Africa? She said all about 1,000. I remember when the Lord changed all them, changed all the languages. Where is it? There's over 1,000 languages. And the last thing I want to say is this. Listen to this. We are all one blood. Every human being across the world comes out of the cradle of civilization, which is where? And it used to be called Ethiopia. And then it used to be called something else. So, you know, everybody want to change things as they get control. Ask anything in his name. Have faith and believe, and it shall be done. The Lord is paying attention to us all. Thank you.
How everybody doing this evening? I don't have much to say. I wasn't going to say anything, but we were on a plane today, and there was a white family in front of us. And as we flew through the clouds, the youngest daughter turned around and saw me looking into the clouds, and she did her finger like this. She said, "Look," and she waved at me, and I waved back. The part that bothered me the most was hate is not built into a kid. Hate is not built into a white kid to be hateful to a black kid. Hate is not built into a black kid to be hateful to a white kid. So when I saw that, I was on the, I was sitting next to Tua and I looked at him, and then a tear came in my eye, so I wiped it off real quick. I didn't want him to see it, but it hit me hard, and I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but I wanted to say it now because God told me to say something. Say something. So I did, and I just wanted to say, Denver, thank you for inviting us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Robert Martin. I'm from Louisville too. Anybody out here 60 years old or older? Put your hand up. Don't y'all know y'all blessing right now? Because these kids ain't living till they 20 or 30. They ain't living till they 20 or 30. A baby just got killed in Louisville the other day, 3 years old. Come on, y'all. This is crazy. What we need to do is stop killing each other, period. That's it. So we can live to be 60 and 70 years old. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. And again, we thank you all for making that 1,000-mile journey from Louisville, Kentucky to Denver, Colorado. The energy you brought when we pulled up into DIA, I've never felt that energy before. Never. And so I am forever grateful for your travel, for your hard work, for your front line, for taking the bullets, for taking the beating, for being tossed in kennels, dog kennels, for seeing a body laying on the ground for 12 hours in humidity heat of 90 plus degrees. 12 hours, a human body laid in the middle of the street and was disregarded as trash. That will never happen again. And I am sorry for that trauma. I couldn't imagine. Nobody deserves to be treated that way. No one deserves. We don't treat animals that way in this country. 12 hours, a dead body killed by the United States National Guard in his own business, in front of his own business. So this is for you. This is for y'all. This is for us. This is for every name on this scroll that shouldn't be here. They had an expiration date, and it wasn't that day. And then with that, I'm going to pass it on to my sister, the Reverend Dr. Stephanie Rose Spalding. Do you all want to stand? You can. You'll be back. No justice. No justice. No racist. No racist. Thank you. So again, you all are welcome to stand. We're going to let Sister Spalding take the stand. She's going to wipe the mic. We trying to live. However you feel, however. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, and let me stand. I am tired. I am weak. I am worn through the storm, through the night. Lead me on to the light. Precious Lord, take my hand and lead me on. When I was a kid, my mother used to often say, "Stop all that screaming." Because you have to recognize and know a little bit about me. I come from a family of singers, and I am not a good one. Let me say that. Standards are what they are. But there's a passage in the Bible where the children of Israel are in captivity, and they are told to sing the songs of Zion. In the midst of their pain, they are told to sing the songs of Zion because it is their strength, it is their weapon. How in the world is singing a weapon? When Africans were enslaved and forced across the transatlantic slave routes to come to this place, to this land, they were told that they were not human because Europeans did not perceive or believe that they had higher order thinking. Creativity is a reflection of higher order thinking. So when Phyllis Wheatley writes a poem, it defies the lie that you are not human. For all of you Coloradans, ask your horse or your dog or your cat to write you a poem. Creativity defies the lie that denies one's humanity. And so whether it is good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, when you tap into the possibility of what could be,
You walk in the fullness of your humanity. And that is what we are calling forth right now. It's for every one of us to tap into the possibility of what could be in our humanity. You have heard a number of messages that have told you to vote, not because America has ever been anything for you in the past that has reflected all that you needed it to be, but because it could be. You have been told to run for office, not because you might be or have been the best person in your neighborhood, in your community, in your family, but you could be. That is the very breath and the spirit of God that speaks into the midst of chaos and says, let there be light. Because in the midst of darkness, to be able to see something that is not and then to create it is the very being of God in you. And so, even as warriors like Shanika Carter, Candace Bailey, Ashley Wedgeworth, even as we look out in the midst of pain and all of our despair and say, I will not live there. Because there is no life in that darkness. Try to grow a plant with no sunlight. When they look in the midst of that pain and say, I can do something, I am going to do something. I don't have any money, but somebody is going to give it to me because I'm going to Louisville. It makes no sense. More than 150 days have gone by and no one has been arrested for the death of Breonna Taylor. It makes no sense. But we will make it make sense for you. It makes no sense. On the drive up, I asked my friend who was driving with me, who drove me, bless God, because I'm tired. And when I say I'm tired, not tired of doing this work, but I don't sleep at night. I don't sleep at night. And many of you know it because I'm posting on Facebook at 3:30 in the morning. And I asked, I was like, why do I do this? Because the time was crunched. And the response was, because you don't have any other way to be. There is no other option. There is no other option. It is your right to fight for your freedom. It is your duty to win. We are bound to love and respect one another because you have nothing to lose but your chains. And that is what the opposition does not want you to know, is that you have nothing to lose but your chain. Brother Willie told you, we didn't convert to Christianity. I hear these debates going back and forth. We didn't convert to that. But the presence of God made flesh in this world was to remind you that your liberation is in yourself. Your liberation is in your will to live and to live eternally. This is why we do this work. This is why we must stand on these steps. This is why we say a lot of different language and words and stuff, because you have more regard to board up and to fence off a freaking building than to honor the lives of our children. Devon Bailey in Colorado Springs. His family had to celebrate his birthday on the 19th of this month, this year, without him present. He was killed a week before his birthday and only months into the pregnancy of his child. What are we doing? What are we doing? So if it's 1,000 miles, if it's 1,500 miles, if it is 2,000 miles, and we have to crisscross this country so that you know we are worthy of being present, that we are worthy to live, that you lie in your own defeat by the deceit of not seeing and recognizing my humanity, then we will march. We will ride, we will drive, we will fly, we will be the thorn in your side. Because we know who we are. And we know whose we are. So whether you are tired, frustrated, angry, I would say very often on the campaign trail, tired is a luxury for those who have the privilege of rest. To be tired is a luxury for those who have the privilege of resting. I'm pretty sure there were nights that Harriet Tubman wanted to sit down and not go another foot further, but she knew that it was more important to keep going. We don't have that luxury. We don't want to keep adding names to a scroll, but we will keep doing this work because you don't have the power to stop us. Be blessed. Take on me. We can breathe. Take on me. No peace. No peace. Shut it down. Shut it down. Thank you so much for leading us in that. There's some very important things we have to talk about revolution. Revolution requires love. Evolution requires love. There is no evolution nor revolution without love. I want you to go home and look in your dictionary. You can't even spell them. Do you understand? We cannot evolve. We cannot revolve. Ego is not in a revolution. Your finances are not in our revolution currently. Don't think they're not the cornerstone. However, right now, love is what must be served. We have been served a cold dish of shit for a long time, and that ends. We will take no more. Someone often told me in my lifetime that people treat you the way that you allow them to. Well, we didn't get allowance when I was growing up. Your allowance was the food that you got to eat. We will no longer allow you to treat us in the manner that you have. Our lives do matter, and I don't need a fucking t-shirt for you to figure it out. We don't need a sticker. We don't need to argue with you over it. We don't need semantics. Come from your privilege for the first time in your life and give us liberation that is due to us. The root of our country says that we are 3/5 of a human being. It is time to get to the root of the tree and stop pruning for your privilege and your pearls. This show is on the road. It is national and international. My mouth will remain open. You will hear my voice. You will see my face. You will know that we are coming. 100 miles, 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles, 3,000 miles. We will circle this planet because this is a planetary problem. We have made ourselves believe we are siloed, but we are not. This is a planetary culture that we live in. Our planet is tired. It has rejected us, in case no one noticed. In 2020, our planet said open no. You will sit your ass down. We had Greta Thunberg out here just last year telling us how if we didn't change our ways, our planet would reject us. And we didn't have time for nice words and semantics any longer. But you see, Greta got silenced by Mother Planet when she said, everyone sit down. Now, if you think that is just because of the air we breathe, I want you to think again. It is for the fact that a lot of us can't breathe air. Mother Nature and this universe said that is enough. I give you oxygen. You don't have the right to take it. Therefore, I will take it back. You better recognize motherhood has stepped in. If you do not know, I will remind you again. Motherhood has stepped in. We are reclaiming our planet. White women, you are the nurturer of white supremacy. I expect you to get up and educate your children. When your white husband feels that something is appropriate and you know it is not, you shut him down. You remove your children and you teach them better. Black women, you are the nurturer of our lives. Stop your children from killing their brother that looks the same. Stop your sons from hitting their women. You stop everything that kills us. And I mean now inside of your household. We, with the Caravan for Racial Justice, are here for everything that is killing us. We're not stopping with white supremacy. Oh, baby, no. We're coming for it all. All of it. If it is killing us, we are coming. Because racial justice is webbed into every breath that you take. If we do not fight like our life depends on it, we might as well lay down and die. As if our ancestors didn't fight for us. We often hear self-care, self-care, self-care. The best self-care you will ever do is get up and fight for your life. Someone said, take a vacation, Candace. I said, well, in slavery, they had a baby, picked the baby up, put it in the shirt, and kept working. Yep. And if you don't have that drive and determination, don't you get up here with our village, because we're going to leave you in the dust. We are moving. We are actionists. It is time for action, and it is time now. We will continue to honor the lives of Brianna, of Elijah, of Paul, of every name on this scroll, and the names we know will come. Because y'all ain't done. We're at war. We pulled our swords. We're ready. I hope y'all are ready. You better get up. I know a lot of y'all just woke up. Wakey, 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 wakey. Get up. It's that time. Tomorrow we will come together with Elijah McClain's family with a gathering for gratitude at the Montbello Rec Center at 6 o'clock. We expect that you respect us.
If you don't have love, don't you come. Don't you show up. If you have an ill intention, don't you show up. We are love. We are here for gratitude. And we are here to talk about what y'all keep sweeping under the rug. Come for love tomorrow. It is music. We are not speaking. We will speak the same language tomorrow. Bring your blanket, bring your chair. There will be food trucks. But most importantly, there will be love for the revolution. Thank you, Candace. And as she said, the Caravan for Racial Justice is coming for everything that's killing us. Everything. So with that, I want to just give acknowledgement to a few of our sponsors. It is not too late to help sponsor our Caravan. We have more work to do. We still need donations. We still need your support. We need you to jump on this bus or get out of the way. And so in order to do that and to make the Caravan possible, check us out on Facebook, go to our website, give us a donation so that we can continue this work. For now, I would like to recognize those that have invested in this caravan from Louisville to Kentucky. We have Miss Elizabeth Crane out of Denver. We have Tanika Freeman out of Atlanta, Georgia. We have Mary Catherine Brooks Fleming, the Fitness Protection Program. We have Danielle Lowe, Enough Action Coalition. We have Topaz McBride. We have Dope Black Thought Live. We have Brother Jeff Ford. We have Compound of Compassion. We have candidate Alana Spiegel. We have Truth and Conciliation Commission by Stephanie Rose Spalding. And we are honored and we are grateful for every donation. We have you, we have community. Community stepped up, got us to Louisville. We had enough to get them back here. And so we're just asking again for you to continue that investment so that we can continue to move through the community and give back love.
We're getting ready to close out. So we're going to have our final benediction from our Louisville, Miss Pastor Sharita, please.
There you go, baby.
We're happy that it's okay. We're so excited that it's okay now. I would just like to thank y'all for being here. Our benediction of a couple minutes.
You got a megaphone.
Megaphone.
Yeah. I was just informed that the Speaker of Congress, Brianna Bell, Mother, and Sister, regard to thank you for acknowledging the dark and thank you for everything you guys have done and saying her name. So give yourself a hand. You don't hear me? Yeah. Okay, louder. Matter of fact, yeah, let's all come up. Come on, everybody move closer. Dr. Move closer, stop it. You got heard it. Because obviously something wants this not to be heard.
There you
So
go.
we have got to listen. Pay attention. Let's listen. Oh yeah. I know we got Corona, but we act like we in the old church. Y'all can kind of get around. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. things you could ever do is give a benediction. Anybody tell you I'm a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ, but I do believe that we are all cousins, whether you Jew, Muslim, Christian, we are all cousins. If you look, the history is all the same. I think before 80-something days, I didn't understand what it meant to give a benediction, because really, in this fight, we never really know if we see each other again the next day. And so it's important that you receive this, just in case we don't get to see each other again. I'm sure y'all got people on the roof like we got people on the roof. So the best thing you can do for me right now is raise your fist in solidarity as I give you this benediction. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you.
May the Lord keep you.
No, really, may the Lord keep you, because I don't know if I'll see your face. All you white allies, thank you for being with us. And I know you're targeted too because you stand with us, but that's okay. Keep standing. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you. Lift his countenance upon you. Which literally means may his spirit surround you. And wherever the spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And wherever the spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. May he show his face to you.
Maybe this is the part y'all needed to hear. So may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you. Lift his countenance upon you. Surround you with his spirit. And be gracious to you. And if I could just stop there for a second, because God gives you grace, it must mean that the person next to you gets an extension of that grace. Even the people who are shooting us with pepper bullets, because we still being peaceful, just in case anybody was asking. Not cheap grace. Not a grace that expires, because that's cheap grace. May the Lord be gracious to you so that we can be gracious to each other. But the last line and the most important line is, may the Lord just give you peace. And then the Hebrew word for peace is shalom. It's a little bit more than everything is all right. Shalom doesn't mean that everything is all right. Shalom just means that you know who you are and you know whose you are. So whatever's coming at you may come at you, but it cannot stop you. It does not mean that we got what we want. It just means that we trust in the God who serves justice and righteousness. So may the Lord just give you peace. Peace in this fight, Denver. Peace together. The best work we can do is to be unified. Do not let your religion separate you from your brother and your sister. Do not let Baptist and Presbyterian or whatever your denomination is separate you from your brother or your sister. Whether we in Kentucky, we say Kentucky from the hood to the holler, don't let whatever you make of your income separate you from your brother and your sister. Amen. Now unto the one who is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever ask or imagine, according to the power that worketh within all of us. Now, I'm going to say you go in peace, but I want you to make the loudest peace sound you can make. Right? And I think these little people probably going to chant y'all to death. That's okay. And so most preachers would probably say amen. But instead of saying amen or ashe, I'm going to let these little people chant you, and that's how we're going to leave this place. Is that cool?
United we stand! United we fall! United we fall!
I don't hear you.
United we fall! United we fall! United we fall! That's it! Yes! We don't get it! Shut it down! We don't get it! Shut it down! We don't get it! Shut it down! Shut it down! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
so many of you all the time. Yeah. Glad you guys get to meet. I know.